Hey, you look good.
You look hot.
I know it. And why are we made up like this?
Well, last time we talked about phobias.
Is this a phobia
Yes,
or
it
is
can
this
be a
our real
phobia.
look?
No, it can be a phobia.
What's the phobia? Are we afraid of ladybugs?
No, clowns.
A clown. Something everybody likes, every kid loves, but guess what? One of the major phobias that people have is a fear of clowns. So we thought we'd start our show with, let there be a circus in town. Whatever it is, we're afraid of clowns. I know I am. I'm afraid of you right now.
I know. I can hardly breathe.
We can't breathe. We don't know how those clowns do it, but it's a real fear, a fear of clowns. And I think it's because you can't see what's underneath.
Is
all
that what it is,
makeup.
or is it all the horror shows that they have of clowns grabbing you underneath the bed?
Stephen King.
Yes, Stephen King is probably responsible for that.
Okay,
Yeah.
a lot of it. But I think my fear started when I was a child of clowns. And I don't like the makeup, and I don't like the way they do their mouths. But there's always something a little sinister.
Yeah,
like,
I think so. Yeah, I know my youngest son, he doesn't like it.
Clowns?
Yeah, and I don't know why, because I really don't let him
hang out
scary
with
shows.
clowns.
Yeah, exactly.
Hang out. No clowns hang out in his classrooms or in the halls. But I brought something that I pulled off the internet because it's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Phobias are one kind of anxiety disorders that often leads to fear of a specific object or situation.
Okay.
Many people suffer from phobias and develop symptoms of anxiety, distress, and discomfort.
Yes.
The effects of these disorders tends to alter the normal lifestyle of an individual by interfering with the daily routine. So we're talking about real things. Now, the usual ones are fear of heights.
Right.
Okay. Claustrophobia.
Right.
Fear of closed-in little spaces. I have all of that.
Well, and I've been trying to think about some phobias I might have, and I know one from me is needles.
Oh, that's one of them. I'm going to try to find the name for that.
Would have never made a good drug addict because I hate needles.
Hey, there are other ways. No.
Yes, there are other ways, but that
There are other
one I
ways.
wouldn't be good at. I wouldn't be good at it.
No.
I mean, even talking about it right now, my palms are getting sweaty because just the thought of needles freak me out. And I know how it started. I had pneumonia when I was a little girl, and they couldn't find a vein in my arm, so they had to keep poking me like 10 times in each arm to get me rehydrated. And from that moment on,
Fear of needles.
Still to this day, right now, my hands are getting sweaty.
Well, there's a real phobia that's even like fear of dentists, fear of anything to do with needles. So you're right in that category.
Yeah.
And I can understand that.
Yeah.
You were a little kid and you were poked all over.
Yeah.
Like a little pin cushion, you know. But I was going to tell you one more. I've got a few here that I think are so fascinating, okay? But keep talking while I find them, okay? But there is a blood injection phobia, okay? These are fears of blood, injury, injections, and shots.
Okay, so are we saying phobias only or like strange addictions? Are they considered the same thing?
Nope, these are phobias.
Or they're just phobias?
Yeah, and I've got some. There are fears of automobile. It's called motor phobia.
Motor phobia?
Now, who ever heard of motor phobia? But it's true.
I haven't heard of that one.
Well, it says in this modern world of technology, it's become difficult for some people to go outside or get in cars or fear of being hit or injured.
Germ phobias.
Germ phobia, Howie Mandel. All right, that's good. That's what I'm talking about. We're not shaking those nasty hands, okay? There's one that's fear. Now, this is unbelievable to me. Fear of bald people.
Ooh, I like bald people. I'm not
Nothing
tell
wrong
you
with
why.
bald people, huh? But it's called peladophia. Peladophia.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm glad you did your homework.
I
'cause
did.
This conversation would have been really short.
But a fear of bald people, to me, that's just, there's one, a fear of mother-in-laws. Now, that one I can understand.
Yes,
okay.
I don't know if that's a fear or selective.
A selective fear of
yeah,
mother-in-laws.
selective fear,
It has
yeah.
a name. Penthrophobia, okay? unbelievable to me. There's one I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but it's a fear of Friday the 13th. Now
Okay.
that sounds like a superstition,
yeah.
but they have a phobia. People that will not leave their house on the 13th. And actually this particular phobia for Friday the 13th, it says people won't even get out of bed.
Really?
Which makes me
Interesting.
wonder if, like you said, some superstitions and
Yes.
phobias and fears.
Yeah.
But it said it's an anxiety that causes discomfort, distress,
Right.
nervousness,
Right.
you know, all of that stuff. I love the one of bald people.
I like bald people.
I know, especially in these days when it's so popular to just shave your head.
Yeah,
and do an
exactly.
end.
Yeah, it is.
Let me
And
read
thank
you
God
more.
they do, because there is nothing worse than a comb over with just like, that's my phobia. Is
fear of
comb over
comb-overs.
of 3 hairs. You know, and the wind flops it back over and it's just hanging to the side.
And just 2 are left and one's floating out here
Yeah.
somewhere in space.
That, I would rather see a bald head than
A
that.
fear of comb overs. I didn't find that one, but we could start a new
can
phobia.
start a new
I love
phobia.
that. Here's one that's a fear of trees. Says these people are afraid of any place where there are ample trees, going into a forest, hiking, trail. Fear of
Okay, so I
trees.
want to know, is this a psychologist's dream to like maybe start these phobias and maybe kind of keep them?
So people can come and pay him lots of money to get a cure?
Yeah, how does a phobia happen with the tree?
I don't know, but like you said, maybe as a child, you saw
Yeah.
a cartoon or something where the tree
Right.
comes at you,
Right.
you know. But it's a fear of trees. Now, another one is a fear of numbers. Numbers. Kate, I got to read you this. It's unbelievable. These people are afraid of numbering and avoid learning any financial issues, prices, and other activities related to numbers.
Well, I have that about from January to April, you know, tax time. I hate numbers.
That's a good one.
I
yeah.
hate numbers.
That could be also associated with a fear of the IRS.
Fear of IRS,
IRS.
calculators.
Now, that could be a phobia for half the country,
Right,
if not more.
right.
Okay. Now, listen to this. Heliophobia. Guess what that is? Don't look. No
I
peeking.
don't know,
It's
I
like a
don't know.
test. No cheating.
We might be here a while.
Heliophobia.
Heels, high heels.
I think actually there was one.
Platforms.
Yeah. It's fear of the sun.
Oh.
Fear of the sun. Now, I would be a little bit more afraid of the sun never coming back out again. Okay.
Well, and that makes me wonder if media constantly, the fear warnings of
Rays.
rays,
Skin cancer.
skin
Okay,
cancer,
exposure.
yeah,
Yeah. To
So
the
I
sun.
mean, how much of that is maybe media caused by the media, as far as?
Well, I think a lot of fears are caused by the media.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
all you ever hear is bad stuff. Very
Yeah.
seldom do you hear happy little stories.
Right.
Okay?
First chocolate's good for you, then it's bad for you.
Then
so
it's
you
good
know,
for you. I know
eggs are
it's
good for
good
you.
for
bad,
me.
yeah. So
Give me
it's
chocolate any day, and I don't care if the sun's out, the moon's out. I don't care what's out. Just
Yeah.
give me some chocolate. Okay,
What
keep
about
talking.
Friday the 13th?
Well,
Will
you
you
know.
eat chocolate on Friday the 13th?
Oh, I'll eat chocolate morning, noon, night, any day, any month.
Yeah, I've witnessed it.
Okay. Just
Chocolate
give me
is,
chocolate.
is not a phobia of Gertie's.
It's not, but there are some good ones out here, and I wanted to tell you a few more because they're so. Now we know it's social. There's a lot of social phobias, like fear of public speaking.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I can relate to that. I had to give a talk one time, and even though I appear to be very outgoing, okay, but it's different when you're standing at a podium, and I teach classes. I talk to people all the time in front of people, but it's not the same as being at a podium and people
Right.
being out there.
Right.
But my heart started racing, and speaking of
Yeah.
sweaty, I got sweaty, and like I couldn't speak correctly, and my legs started
Well-
shaking like that.
I've had one experience like that too, in front of like 3,000 people. I had one a
Were
trip.
you a star, a rock star?
Well, those are my dreams.
Onea
But
has dreams of being
yeah,
a rock star all the
I party
time.
with Eminem, Snoop Dogg, those people. But I had won a trip to Australia in front of 3,000 people. And first, I didn't even connect my name to me, and I started walking, and it was like this tunnel, and they're like, "So, what's your name?" And I was speechless, and I'm never speechless, not most of the time, but yeah, I can understand that one. But for the most part, I do.
Hey.
I kind of get a kick out of public speaking.
Do you?
Yes, I love it.
That's why she has dreams of partying with rock stars, because she's really an exhibitionist is kind of part of. Do you ever have fears of naked people?
No.
Well, that's a phobia. Fear
Not at all.
of naked people.
No,
Okay?
I like it.
And I can understand that too, because I don't even like looking at myself naked. Much would I like to look at anybody else naked.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. All right, so what'd you do this weekend?
My son, he is in the regional, my oldest one. I have 2 boys, as you know. And my oldest
do know.
one is 18 now, and he's just finishing up his senior year. And we're at the end of our wrestling season. So it was regionals this weekend, and then he goes to state this weekend. He passed far enough to go into state this weekend.
Now, her son is an amazing wrestler and has won trophies galore. He's been outstanding in the wrestling field, so that doesn't surprise me that he won state.
No, it doesn't. He hurt his ankle pretty bad, though, so it was kind of on the fence if he was going to be able to make it through.
Sorry
but he
to hear
did,
that.
yeah.
Would
he
you
did.
tell him I said congratulations?
Thank you.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got a big year, and Sage is ready to get into baseball. So, my life never really slows down, but it's good.
and then we have a show to do.
Yes.
Our great show here.
Yes.
Now ask me what I did last week.
What did you do
Okay.
last weekend?
I didn't really care what you did. I just was wondering.
Yeah, you're trying to bring up your
No,
weekend.
I'm kidding. I went to see the Doobie Brothers last week down in Phoenix.
Now, remind me again, what do they sing?
That funky Dixieland, pretty mama,
Mama,
come and take me by the hand, and take me by the hand. And it was great. It was for the Phoenix Open.
Uh-huh.
And they had like 3 different major acts every
The
night.
Phoenix Open that kind of got froze out a little
Yes,
bit?
it was
Oh.
so cold. And this was not an indoor concert. This was an
Okay.
outdoor concert, but they did have it under a big tent.
Okay.
Okay, it was a big, big tent. No assigned seats, no specified seating. There were
Oh.
no chairs.
That's
So
nice.
everybody stood.
I like concerts like
I
that
loved
people
it.
mingle.
I
and
loved it. And you could move.
Yeah,
Everybody was
move
rocking
and
out. And
get
I was
tipsy
right in there. Oh, yeah, I had this drunk guy, well, he was feeling no pain, let's put it that way, right next to me. And there's one song the Doobie Brothers had. And by the way, they still have 2 of the original, and the rest came aboard later. But they sounded amazing.
Okay.
But this guy could not, there's the song that goes, whoa, listen to the music. Hey,
Yeah.
he was standing next to me, and he could not do the whoa part unless he went way down. And I'm standing here, now pretend you're me.
Well,
okay?
and you're not a real tall person,
No,
so.
no, but pretend you're me standing there. So the whoa part, he'd go, whoa, listen to the music, and then, whoa, listen to the music, and it was a riot. My girlfriends and I laughed about it all the way home and kept doing the whoa. So much fun.
Awesome.
I mean, I just had a great time, and when I'm in an atmosphere like that, I don't care about anything but the music.
I think the best